Several months ago, I was reading a book on the love of God, and the author started describing a painting. I immediately did a search, and when I saw it, I was captivated. The painting is Rembrandt's The Return of the Prodigal Son. It's obviously inspired by what we call the parable of the prodigal son. And I say inspired because it's only one moment, one scene. But it isn't really a moment from the parable, it's a reimagined moment. There are differences from the actual parable. But for me, that's what makes it so special. The parable is in the back of my mind, but the painting forces me to see with new eyes. If you haven't read the parable or can't remember the details, take the time and read it now. It can be found in Luke 15, verses 11 through 32. I intentionally haven't done a lot of research on the painting. At some point, I'll dive deeper into the history, but for now, it still brings new points of reflection and meditation. So that's what I want to share, what I see, my reflections. Because as I look at the 6 characters in the painting, I can see something of myself. Let's look first at the character that often goes unnoticed. What is she doing back there? Why is she hiding in the shadows? Is that fear on her face? Why doesn't she want to be closer to this amazing act of love and mercy? Why do I hang back? Why sometimes do I prefer the shadows? Why is it easier to hang back rather than risk being involved? I think it's significant that the very first question that God asks humans is, "Where are you?" Go back to the first chapters of Genesis. Humans were created to be in right relationship with both God and each other, working, creating, living, flourishing, all side by side in God's garden temple, God's very presence. But humans bought into the lie and they grabbed for control and took that first bite out of independence. With one act, those beautiful right relationships were shattered. And what happens next? Genesis 3:8 says, "They heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden at the time of the evening breeze, and they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden." They hid themselves from the presence of God, and hiding has been a part of the human experience ever since. Genesis goes on to say, "But the Lord God called to the man and said to him, 'Where are you?'" Have you ever heard God ask you that question? I have, and I have a list of excuses just like they did in the garden. Where are you? Well, you made me an introvert, so I'm just going to stay home and do things by myself. Do I really need others? Where are you? Well, that's not really my gifting. I'm sure others can do it better than me. Where are you? I'm getting too old. I'll leave that for the younger people. Where are you? That's too much of a risk. I can't take the initiative and no one invited me, so I'll just stay here in the background hiding behind this safe wall. How do you answer that question? I don't know what Rembrandt had in mind when he painted this character, but thinking about the parable, I wonder if she missed the big celebration because she was too afraid to step forward and join in. Next time I look at the painting, I may see something different, but for today, I hear the question, where are you? What about you? Maybe look up the painting and spend some time with the character. What does she represent to you? Next time we'll stay on this journey through the painting and take a look at another character.